Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, I'm Natalie, and in this channel I like to share my financial journey with all of you. A little bit about me: I am an HR professional working from home for a small tech company, and I recently made a move to the state of North Carolina, so I am finally like up to speed on everything and kind of getting back into things. So if you want to see my journey as I pay off debt, explore a new state, please subscribe. And if you want to see how I did in my paycheck number one budget, please keep watching. I'm filming this kind of later in the evening, so I'm using artificial lights. So let me know what you guys think, because I typically only film during the day, but if this works, maybe I can start filming at night. But yeah, let's dive right in. So for my paycheck number one, as you guys know from my previous video where I set up everything, I did have a surprise from work, which I wasn't really expecting. So my income was definitely a lot higher than I expected. So if you've never watched a video of mine, I make, now that I'm in a state like North Carolina where there is a state tax, I do make a little bit under $7,000 a month. So I'm really fortunate about the job that I have and the income level that I've been able to reach over the last few years. But before that, when I was in Florida, my income was about $400 more, so it was closer to $7,300. So there was a pay cut when I decided to move. However, I'm expecting a promotion this year, hopefully, because if not, then that means I need to wrap up at my current job and really start looking for new opportunities somewhere else. But the market is not great right now. There's that as well. I typically have miscellaneous be anything that is unexpected, and that is the case for this bonus. And the reason I was able to split it up evenly and like I knew exactly dollar for dollar where it came from is because I actually received this separate to my paycheck. For paycheck number one, I ended up having $7,777.20 as my income. Everything stayed the same, so I'm just gonna write that real quick. Oh my god, did I forget a number here? I think I did. 67. There we go. 3,467 with 20 cents, and then we have 4,310, so 7,777 with 20 cents is my total. And then for my fixed expenses, everything pretty much stayed the same, so I'm not going to bore you with that. I'm just gonna go over this real quick and write it down. So my total fixed stayed the same at $2,302 with 62 cents. So for my variable expenses, this is the first month that I really kind of expand my categories, so I'm hoping that this will show me really where I'm spending most of my money frivolously, to be perfectly honest. So I go through these stages where I'm very conservative with my money, and then I just like have these seasons where I just like go all out and do a lot of different things. Whether those are smart decisions or not, that's up for debate. A lot of times I do end up spending money on experiences, but then other times I just spend money on random stuff on Amazon and it doesn't make sense. So this is why I'm doing this, if you haven't watched any of my other videos. So for my groceries, I ended up spending over the budget, so $232 with, oh, actually even no cents. So definitely went over there. Hopefully, as I have been getting settled into my place and I don't really have all of these like spices and condiments and all of these other items that you would have at your home on a day-to-day, I don't have to spend this much money in the next paycheck. So hopefully that's the case. Crossing my fingers there. And then for gas and tolls, I actually stayed under budget here, which I had a feeling would happen because I only had to fill up once for the first half of the month. I haven't really had to pay that many tolls, so that's great. And then for household, I ended up spending $284.45, and as I mentioned, I was definitely planning on buying my entryway cabinet, and that's exactly what I did. So I did end up spending about $210, a little bit more than that, in the two cabinets. I already built them, and I'm so excited and happy that I did go with an option like that versus something that didn't really have any storage. So that just made everything else much more organized. Then I ended up spending over budget here as well. So that was, instead of 150, that was 231.45. And off the top of my head, honestly, there was not a single item that was like super expensive that I can think of. So it's just a cumulative amount of a lot of little things. So I did end up going to many different like home decor stores, and to like Marshall's and TJ Maxx and Kohl's and pretty much every store that is around me. So that was kind of inevitable. I had a feeling because I've been restricting myself so much over the last few months that once March came along, it's just like all out the window. So for eating out, I actually stayed under budget by a few dollars. So I ended up doing $47.85. I went to a local festival here in downtown Charlotte, and I met up with my cousin, spent like the early evening / night out and about, and then we ended up the night just going out for dinner around the area. And for beauty, I actually ended up spending a little bit under $11, so that's great. For clothing, I did $42.17. I ended up buying a baseball cap. I love baseball caps, so I was looking at an all black New York Yankees cap. So I got that. That was like 20 something. And then I got a pair of sunglasses. And I think that was it. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You would think I would have bought clothes, but no. The sunglasses were $15 and then the cap was like 20 something. Then for sinking funds, I actually didn't set aside the money, so I'm just gonna add whatever I spent, which was $110.63, and I'm pretty sure this is for my dog. Yes, so this was for my dog's dry food, and I'm also needing to buy the canned food this month before the end of the month, so that's gonna be another $100 and something. So not looking forward to that. She needs it, otherwise she will literally not be able to eat anything. I mean, she will eat anything, but it's not good for her body. Then for unbudgeted, I actually had an unexpected expense, which I thought was very surprising, but apparently somewhere along the way, even though I'm pretty sure I had paid this in full before I moved, apparently my Spectrum account was not paid. For some reason, I could not find any communication from them directly, like telling me that this was owed, because I remember vividly just canceling the service and the lady telling me that it wasn't. There was no more charges, so I don't know where this came from, but it came up in from like a credit servicer, so I just paid it in full and just got it out of the way. So my total here ended up being a lot more, well, not a lot more, a little bit over 150, almost $200 more. Yeah, a little bit over $150 more than I was expecting. So the total here is $1,075.78. And then that means that I'm definitely gonna have to readjust my expenses here. So 777.20 minus 2,302.62, and fixed expenses minus 1,075.78. That leaves me with 4398.80. So I actually did end up adding up expenses. So 4398.80, shit. Okay, so for my car registration slash everything car related, so my driver's license transfer was $44. Then I had to take money out from the ATM available in the actual office. I did not realize, because Florida is not this way, but I needed the form to be freaking notarized. And when I went in there, the fees that it added at the end was like, I took out $20 and I ended up paying $9.50 in fees, which is ridiculous. If I had known, I would have probably brought cash. So $29.50 in fees plus the $44 from the driver's license, and then the tag and license plate combined is a total of $489 with 3 cents. So my total here was $562.53, which was under budget, which I did have an idea of that. And then, so let's do that again. And then minus 500. Okay. So let's just keep the 500 as is. And then we would do 3,300. So 100 under budget here of what my goal was. So let's see. Okay, so the actual rollover ended up being 3627. So that minus 77720 is, I ended up spending 7,740 with 93 cents. So we are over budget here. So that is it for paycheck number 1. I definitely am glad that I got that bonus because I definitely had a spendy first half of the month, and to be honest, I don't think that's going to change for the second half of the month. Basically, April and May are just going to be very spendy months, and I'm glad that I did have this as like an addition that I was not counting on, because it definitely helps. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!